Hey everybody, it's David Oneal, and this is Theme Parks 360's Extinct Attractions Edition. Now, the Peoplemover is my favorite ride. I even had a Peoplemover car in my garage for about 2.5 years. It was the one that was in the queue for the rocket rods. I bought it on an auction site. They shipped it to me. It arrived at my house. I was super excited. I'll share some photos of that on the website, themeparks360.com. But today is all about the Peoplemover.
Henry, what's holding you up? Let's get on with the show. We can't hang around here all day.
There we go.
Tomorrowland is a world on the move. The best way to see it all is to ride the WEDWay Peoplemover. These vehicles never stop moving, even while passengers board and disembark from a rotating platform. Just beyond the Peoplemover station is the new mural featuring old Mr. Energy himself. The Peoplemover is no mere amusement ride. It was designed for intermediate speed transportation within cities. The cars have no motors. Power is supplied from a series of motors embedded in the track. So no single car can ever break down and cause a rush hour traffic jam. Someday a system like this may even pass through the downtown buildings in your community, just as it travels through Tomorrowland's pavilions today. The realm of outer space.
Through inner
One of the most unusual new attractions is the adventure through inner space. A true-life scientific adventure into the world.
I love this ride. I also did a documentary on
These
it.
cars are called atom
Check 'em out.
Aboard them,
So cool.
Disneyland guests ride through a giant microscope and experience the sensation of shrinking as they explore the vast universe inside a snowflake.
35 years this ride has been gone. Can you imagine that? 35 years this ride has been gone. That's crazy. Absolutely insane. Anyway, the Peoplemover, I love it. I've got a couple other videos as well. Now, the Peoplemover, you know, what did I love about it? Because you get on it, and then it's got almost every ride in Tomorrowland you can check out, right? Like when I didn't go on Space Mountain when I was a little tiny guy, right? Early, like late 70s, early 80s. I knew about Space Mountain, but I wasn't dare going to go in. But the Peoplemover let me go in. See, here comes where the arcade right now. So awesome. Tron machine is in there. Oh, air hockey. I was on that air hockey machine non-stop, man. I'm telling you. But this is the part where you get to go inside Space Mountain. Now, this was cool because I get to go in almost all the different rides in Tomorrowland at once. So like Adventure Through Inner Space, the Starcade, even the character shop, the Modern Way to Window shop, right? All of those things were on the Peoplemover, plus Space Mountain, then through the Super Speed Tunnel, which was like a bunch of cars and boats racing, and then later it was Tron, which was my favorite. Then we were out above the Skyway. The Skyway is like the highest thing in the park. We're above the Skyway, then Autopia, then we see the submarines, then we see the monorail at the same time. Then we go through the Circle Vision building, back up through the main, you know, bit of Tomorrowland, the walkway. I mean, everything. And I don't remember how long the ride was, but I spent so many years there. And when I was worked there, I remember one time I had a job of cleaning the Peoplemover cars. So basically like hosing everything off, like shh. I was in love. I loved it. And when I had the Peoplemover car in my garage, someone did a film on me and they're like, what are you going to do with the Peoplemover car? I'm like, I'm going to sit in it. They're like, but why? I'm like, because it's a Peoplemover car. I bought it in 2003, so like 8 years after the Peoplemover closed in 95, and then they put it in the Rocket Rods queue, and I bought it. And then another guy bought it who had another Peoplemover car, and I think it recently sold for like $450,000. Crazy, huh? I shouldn't have sold it, but I needed the money at the time, so you got to do what you got to do, right? But I mean, look, we're going over Mission to Mars now, And I've just got so many cool videos on it, and I'm going to share another one from you. So that first one was like 1967, right? So let me go over here, and I'm going to get the next video up. So this film is going in, it's from 1968, so they're riding the Peoplemover. Now they added those bars because people were jumping out in between the cars and they were getting crushed. And besides like injury, it's also dangerous just to be out where you shouldn't be. But look at, there's some of those Autopia cars that you can see when you're on the Peoplemover. I mean, and when it was the rocket rods, I was so happy to go back up on that track, but it was so fast, and it's like, this ride is meant to be a slow moving fun ride where you get to see everything. And rocket rods wasn't thrilling. I went on it day one, 1988 when it opened, and it just wasn't anything really. I mean, let me queue up some other videos here for you. Literally, like, we're just looking at some stuff. I've got another one here from 1980.
Someday carry you from parking areas to airports, stadiums, and to busy downtown.
So this is 1980. And of course, in 1980, we're 5 years before Adventure Through Inner Space shuts down. So we're going to go through Adventure Through Inner Space. You can see the cool candy-colored Peoplemover cars instead of the gray ones that happened in 1987. I was there too when they painted them in 1987, right before I worked there. So here we go.
Inside the pavilion, and you can board a vehicle called an Anaheim and ride through the mighty microscope for an adventure through inner space.
Hi. Say cheese.
And did I mention, like, how awesome this is? And the song, the Peoplemover song, I loved it. It made me happy every time I heard it. And when I was anywhere, I always thought, like, is that the Peoplemover song? Is that the Peoplemover song? Just the coolest thing ever. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving these videos. And I mean, Peoplemover, it's just the coolest ride ever. I mean, maybe some other people will be like, it's not the coolest ride ever. But maybe you weren't there. Or maybe if you were, you didn't have the appreciation. I mean, I worked at Disneyland. I went to Disneyland every day from 1986, 1987, 1988. And then I worked there in 89, 90, 91. So like almost 6 years. And then before that, I was there all the time because it was just down the street from my house. So, I mean, and then meeting Bob Gurr, doing the Peoplemover documentary, owning my own Peoplemover, being on the rocket rods, I really feel, and then doing the Magic Skyway documentary, I felt such a connection to this ride. I had a Peoplemover poster, had to sell it for money, but it's been part of me since at least I was 9 years old. I'm 48 now, so that's a long time, and the Peoplemover has been gone since 1995. Obviously, it's still at Disney World. But, you know, meeting Bob Gurr, spending lots of time with him, getting to know him, talking about the Peoplemover with him, knowing its origins in the Magic Skyway at the World's Fair, like, I never understood any of that when I liked it. I just loved getting above it. I mean, watching the fireworks, checking out the parade. My favorite thing to do was, like, right when the parade was going to get out, I would get on the Peoplemover. There'd be nobody on it, right? Then I'd come up in my own Peoplemover car, and then all the crowds from the parade, because the parade has just got let out, are waiting in this long line, and I'm just like, whatever, this is my own Peoplemover car. Anyhow, let's go to now. We're going to get up to 1990. Over documentary that you guys can watch. It's going to be on the channel in 4K. You can see Adventure Through Inner Space is gone. It looks to be kind of early morning. There's nobody on the Peoplemover yet. I wish I had that sign. I never saw that sign go for auction. So cool. I mean, absolute love for the Peoplemover.
You are now beginning a grand circle tour of Tomorrowland aboard the Peoplemover, the first system of its kind in the world. Since its 1967 opening, the Peoplemover has carried more than 50 million guests. Your tour of Tomorrowland will cover 3/4 of a mile.
The Peoplemover has broken down. You're all going to have to get out. It is 1992 and the Peoplemover has broken down. Please step out of the Peoplemover, walk on the track Do not fall, because not going to feel good. The Peoplemover has broken down.
I want to be up there.
I want to be up there too. That's cool. Mary Blair, and see, look at those guys. They're at the highest point over there. Now that's got to be pretty sketchy. There is a railing up there. I used to go up to the top there because there was a railing. Where's that guy getting near my camera? Come on. Now, there's a railing up there, and you could stand up there, and you'd be in the show building for what used to be the top level of Carousel of Progress, Progress City. There were just offices up there, I know, because I used to have to dump the trash up there. But at that time, it's just offices, but still, you're at the highest point of the Peoplemover track, and you just got to stand there. Crazy. All right, lastly, let's end up on the rocket rods. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, this ride was there from like 98, 2000 something. I put it in! Rocket rods. Here we go. I can't watch anymore. Why did they make the rocket rods? I mean, the Peoplemover was so cool, and they spent all that money. All those rocket rod cars, because of their technology, were thrown in the waste dump and crushed. And we could have just been... Ah! Same track, there's my favorite dip. Why? Across the way, you can see the spiders of It's a Small World. The joyous... Can't even say it because it goes too fast. Why would they build this? Why? I don't think they're going to say because Michael Eisner's son thought Disneyland was boring and then put thrill rides in. You don't take this track and try to make a thrill ride out of it. It's just lame. What's cool about this ride? Anybody miss the rocket rides? I mean, maybe it's going. Look how much cooler it is to go back into the Circle Vision 360 theater. So much nicer, isn't it? Oh, and there's so many cool like spiels that you can get from the Peoplemover. Like, oh yeah, I remember when they did that in the Circle Vision theater. That was cool. There's so many like spiels, like 1967 spiels, 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, and the Peoplemover, I always thought it was going to be a system like that serving me in my own hometown. Luckily, my hometown was Anaheim, so it actually did serve me in my own hometown, but I meant other hometowns. Anyway, this is David Oneal. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Theme Parks 360 / Extinct Attractions.
just a moment, it'll drop down and calm down.
Hey, Henry, what's holding you up? Let's get on with the show. We can't hang around